how the buildings underground that he was talking about, it was not 1 million, it was actually 4, and they're actually homes.
That are underground?
3-bedroom, yes, they're 3-bedroom homes.
This is the back of my home here. I just come out, that's my bedroom window right there. And what I want to show you here, on particularly about the mortar today, that once you dig under the ground level, you can see where the mortar's missing. Okay, when I first moved in here, this entire home, the mortar was broke out just like that, and I had it re-tipped. It's where they take a little bag and they fill up the cracks with concrete, and so that's how I fixed it. But you can see down here, I'll show you on the base where see that the mortar's gone. Okay, and that's where they didn't re-tip it. Over here, this is dug out, and I've dug it out deeper before, but basically what I'm showing is my whole home is buried about 1 foot to 1.5 foot deep after it was built. I figured that was done with the leftover dirt from the basement building, tunnel building, and all that. But you can see here the color of the concrete where it was re-tipped right there, and that was basically to show you the mortar problem. Now, contractor told me that this mortar problem was caused from digging, or no, he said it was a foundation problem. But what that told me was that when you dig under the house, that it falls, you know, the bottom falls just a little bit. It doesn't take much, and it breaks that mortar connection, and so it was caused by. And so I think that's a clue that this house was tunneled under. Here in my backyard, this is where on Google Maps, that if you go look, you can see what looks like there's a large facility in this backyard right here, and I believe that's one of the 4 underground 3-bedroom homes that I was told about, and so I believe one of them is right here based on Google Maps. The other thing I'm going to show you, because this video is about mortar and water wells, okay, and so we're going to go over this side of my lawn, and I don't know how well you can see it. You can kind of see through the cracks of the fence. There's a water tank there in that backyard of the next door neighbor. See the blue? And okay, and so that's a water tank is what that is. There's a water well there. Okay, so I think maybe that's another clue: water wells and mortar problems, and maybe help find the other underground homes. And this here on the corner of the shed, I got a video on this where I actually heard a noise, digging noise, or some kind of noise coming from underground. My dog actually noticed it. I have a video called "Caught Digging," and I caught it on my camera, because the dog, you know, was over here, you know, like something's going on over here, and literally under the ground right there. Okay, and then since I'm back here on this side, and we'll get over here, that you can see where the missing tree is there. See how there's a line of trees right here, and then all of a sudden there's a gap. That tree was taken out in 2014 to 2016, same time as a suspected tunnel entrance was taken out in the backyard of that home right there. And I think it was believed to on a cover-up, because I was on Facebook and posting evidence, and there was open manhole over there. The lid was off for 2 or 3 years. I sent a picture of it to Chief of Police Price Robinson in 2012. Took a picture of it because I was seeing these truckers back there, and it was real clear that the people in my attic were going underground. They're going over meeting them truckers coming back. It was like a truck stop, you know, lot lizards, whatever. They're running a 24/7 organized crime, organized prostitution business. But then that got, you know, covered up. Instead of busted or making arrest or anything, they covered up, and that's when they took that live tree out right there. So I'm going to go around the neighborhood. I'm looking for homes that had mortar problems and maybe a water well. That's what this video is about. All right, I'm at the end of my of Whittle Way, at the right at the turnoff to my cul-de-sac Fair Circle. I live 2 houses down here, and what I want to show you, this is a house. See that wooden box? That's a water well. There's this vacant lot, so I've wondered if maybe there's an underground home in this area right here. It seems like a perfect area to have it, and as I said, that maybe water wells and mortar problems. That home right there, which is I think it's 3900 Westmont Court, owned by a Concho safety guy, I guess. It used to be a different color. It had the same mortar problem that my home had, and they whitewashed it with that concrete solution there. And so it was, when I first moved here, it was a whole different color. It was red or brown or whatever it was, and now it's white, you know. But the reason they did it is because it had a mortar problem. So I wonder if it's not tunneled under like my home is. And this lot, the water well, the mortar and the water well, if that is one more of the there's 4 underground homes, I was told, 3-bedroom, $1 million underground homes. And that's what I'm looking for, homes that had mortar problems and maybe have a water well. There's one of them at Westmont Court right there. Okay, here's another home right here, and I'll just kind of pull over on the side of the road here, or on the curb, and see if we can kind of see it. See, it's brand new brick, and it had the mortar problem, and they re-bricked the whole home. There was actually a pile of bricks that were sitting there with a pallet. That might be bricks there. And see that black deal on the side of the house? That's a water well. So once again, it's a water well and a mortar problem in a home in my neighborhood. And there, right there, is the Fairmont Park Church of Christ. And you know, and that it's even had a law enforcement officer that told me to go snoop around that church right there. Okay, and then here I'm gonna go ahead and turn into it. That this is my alley right here. Okay, and I'm going in my alley. And there's down there is the wall, and on the other side of the wall, of course, is the Home Depot and Target. Okay, and so this alley right here is really close to my house. Actually, that's the one. If y'all remember that one night, my security camera in the backyard records a guy being chased down the alley by a car, right? And he gets caught because he has nowhere to run. He's trapped, and then he throws his hand in the air. Obviously, they had guns on him, right? And then they open the trunk up and they put him in the trunk right there, right by my house. You know, that video had 90,000 views, but the press, you know, of course, hid it from the public, and that's what's been going on here. You know, is the censorship, and literally I think the press is working with organized crime to hide the underground facilities and the multiple murders that are connected with them, the tens of thousands of burglaries, thefts, the police corruption, and just the theft of services that goes on, and probably human trafficking, sex trafficking, forced prostitution, murder, that little girl that's murdered, and so all of that. Okay, this is the neighbor's home right here. This is the one that had the suspected tunnel entrance in the backyard. Okay, and then on to the right is where the missing tree is at, on the Home Depot side of the wall, where the 2 side-by-side manholes are. Okay, on the left you can see the new fence. That's my new fence. Okay, and that's where I was in the backyard just showing you a minute ago. You know, where the water well was over in the neighbor's yard, and where it's believed that the underground facility is in my backyard right here. And so I just want to show you all that. What I'm you know, other than that, if that's correct, mortar and water wells, then somewhere I'm suspecting that there's a bricks are down, but I'm suspecting that somewhere there's another home that either maybe it's been re-bricked or still has a mortar problem and has a water well, you know, and maybe somebody could look that up and see where the water wells are in this area here, Fair Circle, Midland, Texas. And, you know, and then the next thing to do is to see if one homeowner after another is dying there, you know, and I'm sure they're going to call it excuse or accident or, you know, whatever kind of lies that them secret police make up the lie of the day, you know, whatever their lie of the day is when they falsify reports and tamper with evidence, you know. But that's what I want to know. Was there any deaths in these other homes? You know, are they literally killing one homeowner after the other to collect the property and life insurance and etc., like it's believed here? And so I'm gonna keep my eye out for a home that's been re-bricked or has a mortar problem and maybe a water well. Try to look it up online.